Game on.
Game on. That's it.
Noob in the
Game
building.
on.
Noob in the
Yeah.
building.
Woohoo. Actually, this is a first in his first for us. For who the heck are we? After 114 episodes, we finally have uncharted, not familiar for the two of us.
Kaya
Okay,
noobs ko ba?
sport. I could say sport. Quote unquote. We'll discuss that later with the guest. Uh, Uncharted territory for the two of us. Why don't
Noobs
we
here
welcome?
on the
Huh?
screen. Hello.
Yeah. So those that are watching, it's gonna be very educational for the two of us again. Medyo madami tanong about how this sport is all about. Yeah. So, uh, episode 115. Let's welcome. Magda-drum roll ba ako? Kasi nakamute ka, Clara. Let's welcome Coach Duckeyyy from Bren Esports.
Woohoo!
Hi guys, hello. Good evening.
Hi, Coach
Hi.
Duckeyyy. How are
Hi.
you?
I'm doing well. Doing well. Just overseeing my team train for the upcoming matches this weekend for the
Wow.
MPLPH.
Wow, see, magte-training pa lang esports eh, no?
Yeah.
Ay, yung ba nasa likod, nagsisigawan?
Yeah,
No.
actually it gets pretty loud dito eh. Lalo na
Okay
pag
lang yan.
medyo hyped yung mga players. So, unfortunately, you guys have to deal with a lot of
Oh, it's okay.
shouts later. Yeah.
That's
Okay
okay
lang,
kasi
coach. Coach, ako naman, I'm by the perimeter of my house. So, tumatahol yung aso ng kapitbahay.
baka naglalaro
No
siya ng
problem.
esports.
Maybe.
Baka naging MLBB.
Oh, baka na yan. Ano, di ba, they call them shoutcasters, I think, di ba? The mga esports commentators, di ba? So, Coach, how did you get into esports?
There's actually a very long story. I've been in esports for about 5 years now.
Okay.
But previously, during my high school days, my college days, I was mainly playing, games. I really like playing computer games. So initially, I started playing Dota, and then obviously you grow up. Adulting happens, and I had to work, and it got mundane. My work got mundane. It was just an 8 to 5 day job. It got boring for me. And then luckily, one of my friends actually sent me a message over Facebook. He said, "Wait, Ducky." He calls me Ducky at that time because I was playing Mobile Legends on the side.
Okay.
Then he said, "There's this coaching gig. Okay, are you up for it?" And I said, without actually, wala nang isa-piso. And I said, sure, I'll take it. Then he said, sa Indonesia to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was in Indonesia. And it's for the very same game that I had on the side, MLBB. I said, okay, sure. It's a good paying job. This is a good paying gig. So I said, all right, why not? Sure. I jumped in. After 3 days, I was on a plane bound for Indonesia, for Jakarta, Indonesia. And the very first team that I handled was called Revo.
REVO.
REVO, yes. It's under the umbrella of one of the biggest esports organizations in Asia. It's called EVOS Esports.
I've heard of EVOS.
Yeah,
I've heard of
EVOS
them,
Esports. Yeah. Then I had a talk with the management. The CEO was a really, really cool guy. His name is Ivan Yo. And he's still very cool up to this day. So, yun, sobrang saya na after just a few days, with just, one message, I was into esports. I was in esports. And it was a wild ride, really. We competed in several tournaments when I was with Revo. Particularly, one of the biggest that we actually joined was called Piala Presidents Cup in Indonesia. It was a qualifying event for the SEA Games back in 2019. Unfortunately, the team wasn't prepared, so to speak. And then I came in late na rin kasi they were competing in MPL Indonesia. They're in the qualifiers. Unfortunately, I came in just 2 days before the actual matches.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was really unfortunate because my yung flight ko din kasi it was actually held up for a day kasi I never really had a chance to like go out of the country. So
Okay.
the immigration guys thought, anong gagawin mo dyan? They said, all right, get proper documentation and prove to us that you're
Oh,
coming.
okay.
Yeah, so that's how it happened. And then after PHEW Presidents Cup, Rivo actually disbanded. But instead of like letting go of the players, they actually absorbed majority of my players. We were absorbed by Evos, obviously, and then yun. That's 2 out of the 5 players that I had, or 2 out of the 6 rather. 2 out of the 6 players that I had became the world champions. The very first iteration of the World
Wow.
Series for MLBB.
This is one in Singapore.
This is the
This
one
one in
in Malaysia.
Malaysia.
So there are 3 World Series now. The very first one was won by my previous team, EVOS Indonesia, and then the second one was won by us, Bren Esports, and then the third iteration of it was won by Blacklist International. So
Wow.
Pinas lang talaga malakas.
So wait, that's basically your career. Well, like,
That's the
your
short,
coaching
this
career.
is a short story. Yeah.
Wow. So nung bata ko pa, like, what was your first game console?
My very first game console obviously is what they call now the family computer. I don't know this. All you guys are
Harry
watching.
Jack.
It's this game with a cartridge on, and if it doesn't work, you blow
You
into
blow
it.
it.
All the saints that it works. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really loved playing Contra back then. Yeah. But my first competitive game was between me and my brother. I think the very first one that we had like real competition was, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this game called what do you call it again? It was cars with guns. I forgot.
Gran
I forgot
Turismo.
what
Bandicoot.
No, Crash
not Crash Bandicoot, but it was a game with cars with guns. I totally forgot. That was the very first game that had a real sense of competition. It was between me and my younger brother.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Pero di ba the family computer, that was with Mario? That was the
Yeah,
first
with Mario.
Mario, di ba? Everybody was
Mhm.
playing Mario. Ako, for those that are watching, my first console was Atari.
Oh, okay. Okay. I never really had an Atari though. I never
Really?
really had one. Yeah, I never really had one. But then I transitioned over to PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PlayStation.
PS1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
PS1. That's where me and my brother used to play that game that I'm still thinking about. I can't quite figure out the
Oh,
name. Yeah.
it's a racing game? Racing
It's not a
game?
racing game. It's more of like you trash each other with guns. It's attached to cars. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. In PlayStation 1, I remember Duck Hunt and then Punch Out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I had you're researching. We'll go to Dr.
Yeah,
Google.
I'm actually searching for the game. Cars. I'm actually.
Mga
Yeah, there you go. There
Ah.
you go. Google actually
Helps.
saved it today. It helped me. It's called Twisted Metal.
The game.
Oh
Okay.
gosh. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
that's your game.
That
Wow.
was the first game, and then I transitioned over when I stepped into high school. I transitioned to playing RTS games. Those are real time strategy games. I played a bit of Red Alert, and then
Mhm.
I also played the Warcraft. And then that's when I discovered, the
Frozen Throne. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's when I transitioned over to. That's where I actually discovered Dota. Yeah, Dota.
Dota.
Oh yeah.
Defense of the Ancients. Yeah, I played it for probably 12 years.
Dota.
Yeah, Dota.
Wow.
Then yun na yung naging bonding namin ng kapatid ko whenever I go home. we'd laid out, we'd watch games. You know, one of the biggest tournaments available for esports right now is called the International. So whenever actually it became more of like a bonding session for me and my brothers kasi hindi namin talaga siya namimintis. I think we just missed it once because I was in Indonesia.
For the competition, for the competition.
Yeah,
Valid reason naman, coach.
that's a valid
Oh, yeah. I can't be there because I need to compete.
And then I discovered Mobile Legends because I was working and I still want that sense of, or I still want that same gameplay, but I wanted it to be on mobile. Yeah, but to be honest, it's not the first game that I actually saw na parang battle arena. The very first game I saw in the App Store was called Vainglory. Pero hindi siya masyado nag-ano sa akin eh. Hindi siya
Nag-click.
nag-click sa akin.
Okay.
Kasi it's just a 3v3 game and isang lane lang siya. So
Yes.
it didn't quite feel like Dota. And then
Okay.
one of my office mates said, "All right, there's this game. Kalalabas lang niya. I think it just came out 3 months out." So I said, "All right, let me try it." Then sabi ko, okay to. Mobile Legends. It's a 5v5 game. It closely resembles Dota, and I was enjoying it. And then a couple months in, I probably logged about 2,000 games dun sa game. So yeah, and then I was playing with kids. I was playing with
Double
kids
kill.
like 16-year-old kids.
Oh my
Nakakala ko
goodness.
edad ko sila 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. And what's quite amazing is that one of my teammates before, he was 17 back then, is actually one of my players now.
So you recruited him, huh?
He was in the scene for the entirety of it. PHEW.
Wow.
So yeah. Then here I am now. A coach, coach teaching kids to be cool kids.
Wait, so what was your day job then? Anong day job?
I work for a company called North Gearing, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a payroll, accounting, and consultancy firm. It's an offshore company, so it's a BPO company essentially.
Okay. So iba talaga from your career
Yeah.
now, no?
And honestly, I never really liked that job because I really wanted to be a doctor. So
Oh, really? Wow. But then look at where you are now. You're
yeah,
esports coach.
I'm an esports coach.
Did you ever think that you were gonna be an esports coach?
Never in my wildest dreams I'd be sitting here talking through a camera talking about esports. So yeah, it's crazy. It's been a crazy career for me, but I'm happy. I'm genuinely happy with where I am right now, and I think I'm making an impact in these kids' lives.
In this setup, coach, did you get to go as a player also, or diretso ka na sa coach when it became a formal setup like it is
I
now?
was just a coach, yeah.
Straight to being a coach. But I'm sure the years of gaming, yung track record mo or your level got to show na, pwede ka na maging coach
Yeah.
just to
There's
cultivate.
there's no clear path really sa pagiging coach. So a lot of people were asking me through my inbox, asking me how to be a coach. I don't think there's a clear path. It's not being taught in school. There's no subject that will teach you how to coach an esports team. So it's actually uncharted as well for me. So I learned along the way. So parang natututo lang din ako dun sa mga players ko how to deal with with certain age brackets, age groups, particularly the ones that are playing in MLBB. So like I was telling everyone, in-game coaching is probably just 10% of it. Like
Okay.
I obviously cannot talk like this to my players. Kasi hindi naman nila ako maintindihan when I use jargons with like psychology and stuff. But I have to find ways to like I have to find ways or paano ko ba sasabihin sa kanila in ways that it would leave a mark on them. So yeah, so you have to read a lot, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, not I think, but I think that it's what you need to do as a coach. You have to read a lot, and you have to be a people person really, because
Yeah.
these kids would always look up to you when when the rough gets tough.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh,
That's right.
Talagang titingalain ka nila when they're looking for leadership. Talagang titingala sila sa'yo and say, hey, anong gagawin namin? What do we do? We're losing. So those things, but there are different or a lot of different aspects that goes into coaching really. And I learned that in the 5-year career that I'm enjoying so far.
How do you actually, hirap na klaro, no, to motivate? Kasi kami, like ako, I'm more basketball, the traditional sports, basketball,
Mhm.
soccer, you know, ibang motivation, di ba? If you
Yeah,
lose physical,
it's
just how does that work there
the
for esports?
motivation part is quite similar really with
Okay.
traditional sports, I would say. Uh, the difference is that the amount of training that they can endure really. So in traditional sports, obviously you cannot train for 10 hours per day,
Yes, right.
right? But in esports you have to, and additionally these players actually train or they still play after their training hours. So there's a lot of like mental endurance that you have to have. Yeah, you have to have. So I think that's one of the key points or key differences in traditional sports and esports. But generally speaking about like motivation, the motivational climate,
Yeah.
uh, their what do you call it? Like their aspirations, I'd say, is quite similar to those who are playing traditional sports. So it boils down to like really how much you really want greatness. So yeah.
Galing, ah. Wait, let's go to the comments, ah. May
Dami,
nagay
coach.
hello,
Daming comments.
to. Ayan.
Pa-shout out, sabi ni Ralph Bautista.
Kilala mo ba sila?
Walang familiar faces dito sa akin eh.
May following si
Uh,
coach, syempre.
May
In the
following.
team. In the team. Mga
Ito,
fans.
good evening. This is one of our really I think one of our number one fan talaga.
We can say that. Yeah, si Pat. Good evening.
Ito.
Coach Esperanza, mahilig daw siya dito sa
Oo.
ML. Alam ko.
What does Coach pabulong ng code? What does that
Yung
mean?
sa game, no, coach?
Yeah, ano yan?
I think ang sinasabi ni Esperanza is because there's redemption codes that you can actually redeem through the game. They
Okay.
give you like skins, pixels really.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Tapos
And
ito,
then,
yeah, you could see it naman. Pag nanalo bang Brent sa next game nila, at natalo NX, am I saying correct?
NXP, it's
NXP sa next
NXP.
game
boss.
nila. Pasok
Yeah.
na Brent. So you're currently in a tournament, diba?
Yeah,
You're
we're currently
tournament,
in
yeah.
the biggest esports franchise leagues in the
Yes.
Philippines. It's called
Yeah.
MPLPH. So ang tanong ni Luke is, pag nanalo ba Bren sa next game nila at matalo NXP sa next game nila, pasok na Bren sa playoffs? I'd say yes, because babagsak yung total or maximum points ng NXP and then aangat yung sa amin. I think that's the easiest math there is. So it should be that case, yeah.
Yan. Tapos,
Yung
I
World
don't know.
Championship. Question ni
ito.
Esperanza.
Ano pa yung masasabi nyo nung natalo nyo ang
Okay.
M3 World Champions sa important match?
All right, just to give you guys
Yeah.
context kasi, last week we played against Blacklist, and arguably they're the best teams or the best team right now in the world for MLBB. And Blacklist is the M3 champions, like I was telling you guys about
Yes.
earlier. And, it was a match that people were waiting for because it's M2 champions and M2 world champions and then M3 world champions.
Okay.
So it was very important for us to win that match because it's a statement match. We have to send a message to the fans, to all the teams that are competing in the MPL that we actually are going after you guys. So yeah, it was a very, very important match for us, and I'm quite happy that we actually took that win. It's a 2-1 game. It was a BO3, so I'm quite happy. I'm quite thrilled, really. Kung ano pa yung magiging games namin, particularly yung game namin this weekend, which is going to be versus Resurgence Philippines or RSG Philippines.
Mhm.
They're currently the champion. They're the past champions for last season for MPL. So, and they're also the Southeast Asia champions for Mobile Legends. If you guys aren't familiar with it, it's called MSC.
Okay.
So yeah, Mobile Legends Southeast Asian Championships, I think is what it means. It's quite a mouthful.
And all the teams that are joining in this tournament, they're all Filipino
Yeah.
teams.
Okay. So MPL PH is obviously for the Philippines.
Yeah.
But there are different regional tournaments that we can join.
Right.
One of which is MSC, which Resurgence won recently.
Okay.
So there are different representatives from each different countries from Southeast Asia. So representations from Malaysia, from Cambodia, from Myanmar, from Indonesia, from Singapore. All the Southeast Asian countries have representatives there, and Resurgence actually won that particular tournament. So yeah,
Okay.
and then the World Series, which is the biggest one yet for Mobile Legends, which is gonna happen, or the fourth one is gonna happen on January 1 to 15th in Jakarta, Indonesia.
And I think you won world champion, diba? Like you said, you won champ 2018, was it?
Yes, 2000. The one that we won was for 2019. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this one? Is this the
Oh,
first one?
sorry, 2020 rather. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah,
So
that's the one.
it was during the pandemic. It was during a pandemic.
It was during the pandemic. Actually,
Ah.
hindi kami talaga sure kung magkakameron yan at that time. Kasi
Okay.
all countries were locked down. Nobody
Yeah.
was going out. Nobody was coming in. Luckily, Singapore was, I think, nandun na sila sa punto na parang nakokontrol na nila yung pandemya.
Yeah.
That one. And then we were actually surprised na bigla nilang in-announce that there will be a World Series, but it's gonna happen in 2021 January. So, but the tournament was actually scheduled for 2020, but they just delayed it. So, wala kami naging Pasko at that time. Wala kami naging New Year because prior to our departure, we had to undergo a 14-day quarantine. Before they let
Wow.
us in Singapore. Then pagdating namin, or rather, it was a 5-day quarantine. And pagdating namin doon, it was a 14-day quarantine. And the tournament lasted for about 10 days, if I'm not mistaken. Then pag uwi pa namin ng Pilipinas, it was another
14.
14-day quarantine. Yeah.
Pero yung 14-day na quarantine, man, one whole room ba kayo? Na pwede kayo mag-train ng 10 oras?
Yeah, hindi kami isang room. So, the room that were given to us, they can only accommodate 2 persons
Okay.
per room.
Right.
So we had to communicate online kung paano magta-training. Luckily, we had screen partners. And I'm happy how it turned out. Yun.
I think we are. Like, I mean, you've won champion.
Yeah. Who wouldn't be?
Like, who wouldn't be happy, di ba?
Yeah.
Diba? Oh, make me
May nag-comment dito.
Oo.
Ay, sorry. Girlfriend.
Sige, hanapin natin. Ito. I
Daming
don't know
comments,
if this
Coach.
is yeah. Parang
Paano
lutuin. I don't
lutuin
know.
chicken? Ano yung
don't
girlfriend ko yan eh. Kasi
okay.
kanina pa niya ako tinatanong kung paano lutuin yung chicken na minarinade ko.
Okay. Ayan. Pwede mo sabihin.
So I'm planning kasi to cook yung honey soy garlic chicken.
Uy,
Ayan.
Eh
Uy,
hindi siya marunong magluto. So,
Oy.
hindi ko pa siya naluto when I left home.
Wow.
Kaya yun, tinatanong niya ngayon kung paano luto.
Ang cute.
Magiging cooking show pala to.
Cooking
to,
show
ah.
na to.
Cooking
Well-rounded.
show na to.
Well, a shout
Jay.
out.
Okay, si Jay Lahom. I don't know if you pronounce it Lahom or Lahom. He's actually one of our coaches here.
Okay.
In Bren Esports. He's a coach for Valorant Victress or Bren Victress, which is our
Bren
female team competing for Valorant. Yeah.
Oh, the Valorant.
Hey, Jay.
Okay.
Shout out sa'yo. Nandyan lang sila sa kabila.
Ito.
Jason Piodo.
Oh,
From
hi Jason. This is arguably one of our most passionate fan. Our fan base or our community rather is called the Hive.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hive. So they're called bees. Jason is one of our most passionate fan. Hello, Jason. Yeah, see?
Okay.
It's a bee.
Galing. Sakto. Actually, Jason has a question, no? What was the most memorable part this season na di mo in-expect that your players would do?
I think the most memorable one is they matured, really. Mabilis sila mature. They're really open. The criticisms, they really take it constructively. I'm not particular with wins, really. I'm more into character development of my players too, because again, we're in this for the long haul. Playing a game is not just about winning. It's more of like how would you go from point A to point B without actually sacrificing your humanity and your character, right? So it plays a big role, and winning is just a bonus, really.
Yeah.
So I think to answer that, Jason, is one of the most memorable things this season for me. And I'm not just talking about my players. I have ex-players that are really performing well, particularly si Carl TZ, sila CJ Ribo. They're maturing really, really well, and I have to give props to them because it's difficult because you rob them of their childhood. You put them into a pedestal where they actually are just going to be playing one particular game, for years and years. And they didn't really have that chance to enjoy their childhood, being a teen, because they've been playing the game. Excuse me, because they've been playing the game for a very long time. Yeah. So these are my players. This is from left to right. This is EJ. This is CJ Ribo. CJ Ribo is one. He's actually the most decorated and Mobile Legends player in the world.
Oh, in the world, huh? Wow.
And this is Carl TZ. He's called the child prodigy.
The third guy, the one in the middle.
The one in the middle. Yeah. And then fourth one from left to right is PHEW. He's the kid that I was talking about. Na siya yung naging teammate ko, na player ko na siya ngayon. Yeah. And then fifth one is FlapTZ. He's also my player right now here, Bren Esports, and this is Lusty. Yeah, one of the most decorated players as well, MPL, as well as PHEW. Yeah.
They're all so young.
Nasa inyo pala, coach, mga Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but they actually left na. The only players that I have left from this roster is PHEW, the fourth one from the left, and then FlapTZ. Yeah. Second to the last one.
They're all so young.
Yeah, they're very, very young. Carl TZ actually started playing, I think he was 14 or 15 at that time when he started playing competitively for Mobile Legends, as well as FlapTZ.
Wow. So, there's a stigma, diba, about playing games.
Games,
diba?
Yep.
Diba?
I had to fight that too as a kid growing up.
Diba? Tama laro yan. Wala akong mangyayari dyan.
Kahit mom ko, every time na may sumasakit sa akin, kaka-computer mo yan.
Oo.
Kaka-computer mo yan. May masakit daliri ko, kaka-computer mo yan. Masakit ulo ko, kaka-computer mo yan. Nilalagnat ka, kaka-computer mo yan. Lagi ganun. Yeah. I had to like explain to my mom what I was doing. Like, anong ginagawa mo? You had a very good job. And all of a sudden, you're an esports coach. I had to explain it to her what I was doing. At first, obviously, hindi niya maintindihan because she's from a different generation. And I said, okay, this is what I'm doing, and I like what I'm doing. Then we were winning championships left, right, and center. And she said, okay, all right, sige, all right, I support you. And luckily, she's very supportive right now of what I'm doing. Yun nga lang, ako yung kino-coach niya pag minsan kasi I'm very vocal in social media, like how my opinions. But obviously, my opinions are just my own. Doesn't really reflect the org that I'm or Bren Esports. So, politika, minsan sasama ko na siya.
Yeah, I like that.
Politika.
The 7-Eleven, I like that one. Can I just?
that one. Yeah.
I like that. That's the best.
Yeah,
You know?
politika and some other stuff. So yeah, I treat it like like my personal social media. But I never really quite understood kung bakit nagkaroon ako ng ganun na following.
Yeah.
So I never really wanted to be like this guy with like 250k followers on Facebook, right? Hindi ko siya in-imagine na ganun yung mangyayari. I think what happened was yung popularity ng mga players ko before, my ex-players, trickled down to me. So, yeah. But, since I have that platform, might as well use it.
That's right.
So,
you have a voice that you could influence a lot of the young kids.
Yeah. And I'm using it as best as I can.
Yes.
Without undermining, realities that are going on around us. So I'm very careful with what I post there, really.
Yeah.
Although there are some instances kasi na may mga to-troll, sinasagot ko na lang din. Which I find fun of, kasi
It's fun naman, like,
yeah, di mo naman siya maiiwasan kasi, manalo ka, may sasabihin naman sila sa'yo. So,
haters will always hate.
Yeah, they will.
Dami. Balik tayo. We'll just go through it again.
Shoutouts. Shoutouts. Si Heidelin.
Hello, shoutout sa'yo, Heidelin. Oh, si Kuya Ronel. Nandun si Kuya Ronel. Si Kuya Ronel is our security. He's our security personnel dito sa Bren Esports. I'm very close with this guy because he's very, very masipag. Yeah.
Wow.
Wala kaming tulak-kabigid dyan kay Karen. Kaya
passionate pala. So, sakto talaga, coach.
Naglalaro ba rin yan?
Naglalaro din siya, actually. He plays on his free time. And then, nakakatuwa kasi dyan kay Kuya Ronel. Whenever we have a match, kahit di siya makapunta, nag-jersey siya.
Yung spirit talaga.
Galing.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Congrats pa pala, hindi na backdoor ang base ng Bren.
Yan, kaka-computer mo. si Geraldine Delavine. Coach, congrats po pala, Coach. Hindi na mababackdoor ang base ng Bren Esports. Okay. Give you guys context. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
2 weeks ago, we had a match versus Echo. Ito yung team ni Carl TZ, the child prodigy I was telling you guys about kanina. Player siya before, then he transferred over to a different team called Echo Esports. Okay. Then we had a match with them. On the second game, they had this play na, so dun kasi sa game, you have to protect your base, right?
Yes.
It's
a 5v5 siya, diba? 5v5.
And then basically the goal of the game is to destroy yung base. There's just this one structure they have to protect. And if they get it, panalo na sila. It doesn't matter kung ano nangyari sa game, kahit ang ganda ng performance mo, kahit pa ang dami mong kills, kahit pa ang dami mong assists, kahit pa ang baba ng deaths mo. As long as they get it, panalo sila. Okay? Now, our base at that point was open. Wala na siyang defenses. Okay? All they had to do was just finish the game by just destroying the base structure. The crystal, so to speak. And what they did was, gumawa sila ng conceal play. The conceal play is like parang nag-invisible sila so that we can find them. Pumunta sila dun sa base. They They waited for us na magpakita dun sa map. Kasi kukunin namin yung Lord, which is one of the biggest objectives in the game, so we can
Okay.
finish it. And then all of a sudden, they jumped towards the base. 3 of them, Yawi, Carl TZ, and si Ben. Tinapos nila yung game. Hindi na kami nakareact. So that's when it started, the circle jerking for backdoor. And then, just a week after that, our match versus Blacklist International. Game 2, ganun din yung ginawa sa amin. Although this time it's different. They really had the intention to actually end the game. And they did. Na walang backdoor protection. So this game kasi there's this concept na backdoor protection. So if there are no minions, the NPC non-playable characters na talagang nagsasagupaan lang dun sa dun sa lanes ng game.
Okay.
You can only end the game as nang mabilis kapag merong minions around dun sa base structure.
Okay.
Pero tinapos sila without it. So
To backdoor talaga.
yeah. So nadadalawahan na kami nun. And then luckily, Moontoon, the game publisher of MLBB,
Yes.
updated the game last Tuesday. Dinagdagan na nila yung backdoor protection.
So wala na.
Hindi mo na siya magagawa this
Hindi
time.
mo na siya magagawa.
So
Okay.
I posted it on my Facebook page, and I said, thank you, Lord. like really sarcastic hashtag. So they're making fun of me.
If I can put it in some Dota context, since that's what I played a bit before.
Yeah.
So wala yung mga buildings that protect you, parang yung mga watchtowers.
Yeah, wala na siya. Wala. Inhibitor turrets is what we call them in MLBB. Wala na siya noon at that time. So our base was left unprotected. Wala talaga. There's no way for us to like defend it kung gagawin nila talaga yung play na yun. But I have to give props to Echo Esports for doing it. It's a legit play, I think. They researched it. We failed to research about it. So that's on us. So I think that's a really good play from them. It's a great play, really.
Coach, what we're just talking about, does that count already as like game theory, exposing or going through what can you do in the game, what can't you do?
Yeah, it's actually it's more of a like game mechanics. Game theories basically revolve around, like game theories is more of like strategies and stuff like that. Like how well or how they perform in Lord dances. I think that's a term that the casters use these days when we are taking one of the biggest objectives of the game, which is the Lord. They call it the Lord. It's this big guy, looks like Poseidon, and when you kill it, it responds in your base, marching to the enemy's base to help you destroy their base. it's a lot of bases in one sentence. So yeah.
Wow.
So that's how it works. But just to answer your question about game theories, it can fall through that concept, what they did, what Echo did, because if you listen to their comms, kasi meron mic check is what they call it. You can hear the audio kung paano nag-uusap yung players when they were making that play. Or play-by-play communications. So if you go to their page, Echo Esports, you can actually watch how they were communicating. And then, actually, ano lang siya parang naisip lang nila bigla. They said, okay, gawin natin to. So they had that theory that it might work, and it did. Yeah. So I think it can fall in that aspect. Yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Gets.
So, may trash talking ba kayo against each other?
Okay, so
Kasi Mike yan, di ba?
when the game was starting, when the game or MPL was in this early stages, MPL was season 1, season 2, they allowed it. They were allowing it. Okay, but this time, since we're a franchise league, it's it's the biggest one in the country right now. They have to professionalize it.
Okay.
Bawal na magmura. Pwede ka magmura, but you can't direct it to the other players.
Mhm.
Right? You can, use it like just an expression.
Okay.
Para lang ma-release mo yung energy niyan, yeah, the tension.
The highest kill, or death.
Kill.
Right.
It's no different from like, from boxing where you actually make sounds when you throw punches. It's
Okay,
pretty
okay.
much the same concept, yeah.
Wala na yung ano, papatayin kita. Hindi,
Hindi,
wala
hindi.
na yung gano'n, wala na
Meron,
yung
meron
gano'n.
pa rin ganun, meron pa rin ganun,
Meron,
but
okay.
yeah, meron pa rin ganun, but it's one of the things that you actually try to teach your your players
Right.
because again, what I've been telling them is that you have to control your emotions because in real life, in reality, if you can't control your emotion, you cannot make sound decisions.
Mm.
Don't ever make decisions when you're mad. Don't make decisions when you're happy. Just be neutral. So up to this point, I'm still trying to, teach them how to control their emotions. But sobrang hirap niyang ituro kasi sa bata,
Yes.
right? They don't really have that concept na, or they don't have that concept ng responsibilidad. Or they might have some, but it's not perfect. This is probably what I'm trying to say. So at this point, I'm just happy that they're open to it. They're trying to control their emotions. You just have to be flat. Your affect should be just flat. And they're listening to me. And then, yun nga. Pero may mga instances kasi talaga na hindi nila naiiwasan. Gusto nilang i-release kung ano man yung nasa loob. Yung nasa loob.
Tension. Actually, maganda yung sinabi. Klaro din, maganda yung sinabi ni Jason. Pion. I admire you, coach, and I feel that you're autocratic. How do you make it very effective?
Huh. I'm I don't I don't know if I'm autocratic, but I'm more of a I'm more democratic really pagdating sa team. But we still have that I still need to teach them that, or at least make them understand that, I'm the head coach. The directions that I'm trying to teach you guys or the directions that I'm saying na dapat natin puntahan is obviously for your own good. I'm like a parent. Like, hindi ko naman kayo sasabihan ng ikakasama nyo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sounded like my mom.
Computer mo yan!
Computer.
So, yeah, hindi ko naman sila sasabihan masama, but whenever we make decisions or whenever I make decisions, I make sure to consult the team. That's how I can say that I'm more democratic approach to coaching. So I take into consideration all of the moving parts in my team, particularly your players, managers, management. But at the end of the day, someone has to decide, right? We cannot have just a bunch of other, a lot of ideas floating around. Hindi natin alam kung ano yung susundin natin. Because when that happens, doon na nagsisimulang bumulo. And I also learned that the hard way. So yeah, those pictures, the one that you showed before,
This
right?
one?
That was yes, this one is my team from Singapore. These are Singaporeans. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is EVOS Singapore. Yeah,
Okay.
from left to right.
Mhm.
This is Rufus. Yeah. This is Potato.
Potato.
Yeah.
Cool name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
This is Soul, the guy in the middle.
Yeah.
The tall guy is Ace. And then second to the last one is JPL. All right, just a trivia for you guys. JPL's name is short for Jipon Lang. Jipon Lang means Japanese. He's actually Japanese.
Oh, okay.
Half Japanese, rather. Yeah, he's
Right.
half Japanese. And then this guy, the last one is Bambi. Oh dear Bambi is his name. Yeah, they competed. This was back in, if I'm not mistaken, this is MSC 2019.
2019.
Yeah, here in the Philippines, Araneta Coliseum.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
so big now, no? This
Oh,
Esport.
you will not believe it.
Wow.
If you guys are familiar with the international, the total prize pool for the international TI-10, yeah, TI-10, I think. Yeah, TI-10 was 1.3 billion in pesos.
Ooh.
Billion?
Yeah, with a B. Yeah, with a B.
Oh,
Well,
yan sa mga nanay nanonood, computer mo.
my career na diyan, 'di ba?
Oo.
Well, coach, I guess that explains why
Wow.
hundreds of thousands of people try to apply, try
Yeah.
out for your team, right?
Yeah, kasi there was this one instance when we won the World Championships. Malamang wala masyado may alam nito. But I opted in for an open tryouts. Bigla siyang pumutok. I didn't quite expect it. There
Oh,
was
no.
100,000 applications dun sa it was a Google form I sent out. And then I was I was surprised because the very first 10 minutes there were already 40,000 applications or 30,000 applications. And then I think it was a 3-day open tryout registration. And then at the end of the 72-hour period, a little over 100,000. And then one of my the marketing development leader here, si Fang, he said, dati benta mo sa ano yan, sa Globe. Benta mo yung number information. I said, because there are cell phone numbers there.
Yeah.
That's punong-puno yung Excel sheet, coach, yung collated
Yeah,
responses.
punong-puno siya.
Well,
Hindi ko naman siya in-expect na ganun siya pupunta.
Ganun
But
kalaki.
it was just for one spot.
oh,
Oh
What's
my
funny?
God. Wow.
ano yung coach, single elimination to get the winner.
Forever na yan.
Hirap niya eh.
Kaya nga, that's a lot of people.
But we ended up with one player. He was from Mindanao. His name was Mudge Malik. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's no longer with Bren Esports na eh. So we parted ways with him last year. Yeah.
Out of 100,000.
Represent pa rin. No? Someone representing Mindanao.
From Mindanao, huh?
Mhm.
Well, coach, you just mentioned the pot, no? And it's parang naging common knowledge na as of late that people can get a career or a job out of this.
Yeah,
That's
so
how crazy it is. It's amazing.
yeah, but there are a lot of questions, or the most frequent one that I get is, how do you get into the professional scene? How do you become a professional player? Is it worth it? Those types of questions, or questions along that line. I would often say that stay in school, right? Because it's just 1% of the total pool who actually makes it. Like, just to give you guys a picture, right? I have the MPL alone, if we're just talking MLBB, right? Hypothetically speaking, there are, I think the peak monthly users for MLBB is 10 million for Philippines. 10 to
That's the
15
pot.
millions. Yeah. No. 10 to 15 million users.
Oh, users. All right.
Yeah. So let's just put that into perspective. Like, you have 15 million players, right? The MPL has only 8 teams. Let's just say 5 players for each team. That'd be just a total of 40 players. That's less than 1% of the 15 million. So that's why I'm saying, if you really want to go into esports, you better stay in school. You have to have that fallback. If you're really that one guy that we're looking for, you'll eventually make it. You can juggle your studies and playing games at the same time. But I don't think esports should be your priority. It should be the least of your priorities at this point. If you're 16, 17, 18, just focus on your studies. Don't quit school.
Meron
That's-
ba? May
It's throwing all eggs. Wow,
Oo.
dangerous din. Dangerous
Dangerous
yung
yun.
coach, no?
Yeah.
It's very, very dangerous. Makinig kayo sa magulang niyo.
Especially when they say,
and to coach.
yeah.
Makinig kayo sa magulang niyo tsaka sa akin.
Tama.
That's a nice reality check that we could say.
Oh,
Galing
yeah.
kay coach. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, champion, trophy,
Correct.
Yeah.
billion.
Kasi when you're a 16-year-old kid looking up to these players, right? Kaya ko din yung ginagawa niya. Kaya ko din yan. But you don't really understand the sacrifice that these kids have to make at a very young age. Like, hindi mo naiintindihan na yung iba dito, they their childhood. They give up their studies as well. There are instances na gini-give up talaga nila yung studies. And the amount of time that they actually spend playing, so siguro yung mga taong, ano mo yun, matutulog na lang, ito pa yung iniisip, kakain, ito yung iniisip. Wala silang buong bibig kundi ito. The sad part is that it's not going to make you rich if you don't win.
If you don't win.
If you don't win, hindi ka magiging mayaman dito. It's not as profitable as it looks.
Ayan, that's a good advice.
Yeah, but if you're into a different kind of esports or game, like let's say Dota, and you're semi-pro for Dota, I'd still argue that it's profitable. I don't think it's profitable to be semi-pro. The only time that's going to be really, really profitable, it's going to be life-changing. It's if you're in the professional scene for Dota. If you're making 6 digits a month. It doesn't happen in Mobile Legends.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, tama si Clara. It's not lucrative as
it's not as lucrative as
we thought kasi it was you win like the pot is
we win millions, right? We win millions, but that's just the 5 of us.
Wala yung
7
iba.
of us. Wala yung iba. Paano yung iba?
Yeah.
Right.
All or nothing.
There's this tunnel vision. Again, guys, the devil is in the details, right? So the devil is in the details. When you look closely, when you really look closely, you'd understand that it's not as profitable as it looks. The only time that it actually is profitable is that when you use that particular platform that you have, like on my case, you can expect na magiging 250k yung followers ko. Let's just say, for the sake of example, yung mga players na nagkakaroon ng streaming deals. Those guys are the lucky ones.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's few pa rin, no? A handful pa rin yung naging successful, I guess.
Mabibilang mo lang din talaga sila sa daliri ng kamay mo at paa mo.
Wow.
And not everyone can win among that playing field.
And in the lifespan of esports athletes is relatively short. Like your hand dexterity actually falls off at age 24 to 25 or 26. I think that's the limit. So what do you do after 26?
Yeah,
you're not gonna play the game anymore. When a coach will say, matanda ka na masyado, bagal na ng kamay mo. What do you do then?
So that's what you look at.
Pretty young.
No?
It's pretty young to call it a career.
Yeah.
Hindi ka nakapag-aral. Hindi ka nakapag-aral. What do you do after? Unless you're really financially savvy and then all of the earnings that you had playing professionally, you invested it, you invested in SMEs. But I don't think that's the reality that we're in at this point. That's why I'm actually thankful to Moontoon, the game publisher, because they're actually pushing for financial education for these players.
Okay.
They have to be very literate about their finances, because if you're making money at a very young age, you might as well, make it to that point where pagdating na retirement age mo, you still have some. You still have some in the back, right? Hindi ka left to your own devices, right?
Yeah. You didn't spend it all in one go, right? The investment or the financial strategy.
Looking at the future.
Yeah,
looking at the future.
Wala naman silang mga financial managers.
Advice. No,
I would hope for a financial manager for these athletes, though.
Yeah, diba?
They're earning a lot, So
Put it in a good
sort of like esports mutual fund.
Ayan. So,
Yan.
kami nanonood ng insurance. Ayan.
I've had this idea with a friend. He used to be a fund manager, so. And then I said, so shout out kay, if you're watching Tito Mig, si Miguel Lopez. So if you're watching, baka tuloy na natin.
Tuloy na. Esports mutual fund.
You heard it here.
Tama. But
Wow.
you know, you touched on a very good topic. So, you know, esports siguro 6-5 X number of years ago, it wasn't that big, no?
It wasn't
And
that
then
big. It
it
wasn't,
wasn't that
and it's still it's an infancy stage really. There are still a lot of naysayers that naglalaro ka lang naman. They still have this proclivity for like really bad connotation for like esports athlete. Like nakaupo ka lang naman the entire day. Diba? But what they don't understand is the sacrifice, the amount of sacrifice that
yes.
we put into like mastering a certain game and winning championships, winning games, winning tournaments. I don't think that's where the disconnect is with like the the regular viewer or the
The
regular
public.
people, the public. Yeah.
Yeah, the public.
Given that, coach, so sa training, what do you do do you just all get into a game or you'll explore the map, something like that? Is that what you'll do?
Uh, it's fundamentals. Obviously, yeah, you have to do that. Like you have to discover every crevices of the game. You have to cover all the possibilities or all lahat ng bagay na pwede mong gawin in game. So that's the fundamentals. And then you go to your game theories, which revolve around strategies and stuff. Like how do you secure this? How do you secure a particular thing in the game? Let's just say objectives and stuff. And then you transition towards to like how do you close a game and stuff. But that's still part of the game theories. But what really is understated is how do you really improve? Like how do you improve in-game mechanics? That's something that's very teachable. That's something that you can learn. But how do you teach mindset?
Mm.
That's where the area goes gray, right?
Yeah.
Everything becomes subjective. There's no book that says, okay, ito yung gagawin mo to improve your mindset. You have to understand yourself, have some introspection. But how do you teach that to children?
Yeah.
16,
Hirap
17,
yan, ah.
18. How do you teach that? So you have to guide them, right? This is what you do, okay? And you have to say it in a way that they would understand. That's why from the get-go of this interview, of this podcast, I was saying in-game coaching is probably just 10% of it. The remaining 90% of it revolves around a building character, building motivation, having your goals, setting aspirations. So those kind of things.
So it's like the talking, ganun, coach, just
Yeah.
conditioning the mind and how you want them to be. Pero coach, do
Yeah.
you have the X's and O's like traditional sports? Magda-drawing ka sa whiteboard when you're
Yeah,
practicing tactics.
it is a part. We also have a coaching board. So it is the map of the game where you can
Wow.
put in your pieces, your chess pieces, so to speak. How do you do this? How do you do that? And you can draw like lines with a marker and stuff. And we also have like daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals. So all those things add up to building, winning athletes. And I'm really thankful that Bren Esports has a facility to actually that they provided for us where we can do both. Yeah, we can have fun and at the same time we can actually train, and become better athletes each day.
I really love, coach, how naging scientific na talaga and even
It is.
let's say professionalized
Yeah,
from
it will be very very scientific from this point on. I don't think esports is gonna devolve into something less. I think it's gonna be bigger from this point forward. Yeah.
that's so great to hear. Especially
Very.
with I mean we've gone a long way from our parents saying yung
Yeah,
kakomputer mo
we
yan.
Oh,
That's, I've had
oh,
my share of that, of course, playing games left and right. So it's cool. Claudia.
yeah.
Ako rin. No, it's amazing like how the involvement, and coach, we've interviewed a lot of traditional coaches, basketball, volleyball,
Mhm.
soccer coaches, and there's always the same. Uh, there's a similarity, which is you have to build character. You know,
Yeah.
you have to, especially now, especially for you, for the young kids. You're. I like the fact that you said, "Hey, you guys, you still have to study." you know,
Yeah.
it's not a, it's not as
Ito.
it's glamorous, like, but it's not that glamorous as you think, di ba? Galing, galing. It's amazing.
Yeah. That's from Jason Piodo. Also,
Masyado.
Jason, ulit to.
Oo.
Always remember that you're a student first before an athlete.
Yeah,
Kaya
tama.
student athlete. It makes sense to an extent.
Yeah,
But again, if you're an esports athlete, you're also a student to a coach.
that's correct.
Yeah. And then however you perform, it's the same thing in school. Kung ano yung pinapakita mo sa akin, it's exactly how I grade you. So that's basically how coaches perform, or at least that's the minimum of what expected from coaches.
I'm a coach, yeah.
Yeah.
It's that Mobile Legends, it's so popular. I don't play it, right? But I have
Oh, you
office.
should try it. You should
I,
try
I,
it.
I don't
Yeah.
I might get addicted to it. That's but normally when I'm at work I'm at the office, I would lean back just to rest, and I would look at my kasama and my in their desk, and they're playing Mobile Legends during their break. I'm
Yeah.
like, and I just watch, and then they talk
I,
to someone. So it's
yeah.
amazing how.
And I think one of the reasons why MLBB is so popular right now is because of convenience, right? We're
Easy.
transitioning over, yeah, easy access, right? We're
Yeah.
transitioning over to that period in time where our mobile phones are really really powerful.
Yeah.
You can actually play games, so you can only imagine being played in a console or in a PC. But now you can play it on a mobile game. It's very convenient. Kaya siguro, this is the trend here in the Philippines and all over Southeast Asia, because in the West it's still gonna be PC. So there's a running joke. It's PC master race in the West.
A PC pa
So
sila. They're
PC,
not yet in
yeah,
their mode. Yeah.
yeah. I
Even
don't,
say, go ahead.
yeah, I don't think they're giving much emphasis on the phones really in the
No.
West, because traditionally speaking, Westerners really just consider phones as a way for you to, like, talk to people, make,
Communication.
yeah, communication.
Yeah.
But here in the Southeast Asia, in Asia, we treat it like a form of entertainment really.
That's right.
Right. That's why Facebook, TikTok, uh,
Huge.
Twitter, yeah, they're huge. YouTube, yeah, it's fairly huge here in Southeast Asia, but in the West, they don't really give much emphasis to it.
That's right. It's so big here. Even the PBA players play it. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, Junmar
Si
Fajardo.
Junmar and
Yeah,
Pingris.
Pingris.
Dota.
yeah.
Mahilig sila sa Dota.
Pingris. Actually, see Pingris last time when Blacklist was playing, he made a bet that if Blacklist wins M3, he's gonna run in a bra. And
That's
he's,
right. I
he's
remember that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
did. I was calling it bullshit, really. Oh, I'm sorry for the French.
No, it's okay, bro. We love it. No, it's
You're
okay.
not the
was
first coach, don't
yeah,
worry.
You're not the
Dito.
guy. You're not the first.
yeah. I was calling it LBS already. He's not gonna do it. He said he was gonna run around
Yung kali nila, coach.
sa
Their
kali nila,
village.
I think their village.
Yeah.
He's gonna run in the village, and his wife's, I don't know if he's actually married, but in bras and
Yeah, he is.
underwear. Yeah. So, and after a day, I think I actually mentioned him on my Facebook page. I said, uh, mention mo, sabihin mo naman sa akin yung address mo para makapanood kami. Unfortunately, he didn't reply. but it got viral as well when he posted the video, and I said, okay, he's a man of his word.
Respect kay
Yeah.
Pingris.
Mark
Yeah,
Pingris.
he did.
Legend
Yeah.
on and off the court and in
On and
the
off the court.
esports world also.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
we're
I'm
sure.
already like crossing those boundaries with traditional sports and
That's right.
other.
That's
Yeah.
right. And I'm sure I'm sure they know you. You know them. It's a good I guess community. uh,
Yeah.
sports industry community. You know? That esports is finally getting recognized as a sport.
Yeah, and esports is something that everyone can enjoy. Like, uh, there's absolutely no boundaries as to who can and who cannot play.
That's right. So we
Everyone has
never.
access to phones. Probably the underprivileged ones. Obviously, yung mga
That's right.
walang access to cell phones and stuff. I saw a streamer who does not have a hand
Huh?
who's playing by his foot, by his
Huh?
feet rather. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
wow.
So there's virtually no limitation for you like esports, and I think one of the craziest aspect of esports and games in general is that it can really bring people together.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's turning out to be a sport.
Yeah,
It's no longer individual
and
game or
it will be the future. It will be the future really. I think the Olympic Committee is already
yeah,
thinking about
thinking
the
about it. Yeah,
inclusion
that's
of
right.
esports. Yeah, because right now the closest that we've gotten to like the traditional sports
Tournament, sea games, huh?
competition, the tournaments is Sea Games, and just recently is the Asian Games. It's
Yeah,
gonna happen, I think, uh, later this
Cambodia.
year.
I think
Yeah,
Cambodia has. Will Cambodia next year? Will they have?
yeah. Cambodia
Yeah.
will be the host for next year's Southeast Asian Games. Yeah, I'm
Okay, so
hoping
it's.
that we be.
I hope so. Wow. So wow, it's an hour and 8 minutes into this show.
Yeah,
Wala, sarap ng kwentuhan, di ba? Kwentuhan
yeah.
lang, parang without the beer, kumbaga, how Claro says it.
Trademark
So,
ng show. Mhm.
third mark. So we're already towards the end of our show, no? And Claro and I, we have this three magical questions, right? So Claro will have to start, and then I'll do the last two questions. Claro?
Coach Ducky, 5 years from now, what do you see yourself doing?
5 years is a long way down the road, but if given a chance, I would still be coaching. Really, if given the chance. But I think I'm mature enough to like take other roles, like take the back seat. You know, try and more be hands-on in developing future esports athletes. Try to build, help build the structure that surrounds esports in general.
Right.
I'd be happy to like share my knowledge, share my expertise on certain aspects of this industry to other people. Obviously, we're trying to build it. It's in an infancy stage, and it goes to show that during the pandemic, everyone is very accepting towards esports. You know, and 5 years is gonna be a long time. I don't know what my girlfriend's decision would be, but yeah. I
Yeah.
think she's still watching right now, so yeah, wag mo muna
She's
ako
probably still
pagtitin.
wondering.
Yung chicken,
Oh,
coach.
yung chicken.
Ano,
Tanya,
yung
you said,
chicken? Probably a cooking show 5 years from now.
Pwede rin.
But yeah, but 5 years is long way down the road. But if given the chance, I'd still be a happy camper to be part of the esports. Yeah.
Great stuff.
Good stuff. Ako naman, coach. Once you've retired from esports, how would you like people to remember you? By your legacy.
Huh. That's a hard question. I've never really given much thought to like my legacy. I think I'm still trying to build off my career, but if I can put it in words, like at this point, how would I want people to see me? It's probably just be that guy who taught kids to be good. Yeah,
Oh,
just that. I'm a simple guy. I'm not really after like you're the best coach. I don't think I'm the best coach there is for esports for MLBB. Although I think there are far better coaches than me. But I still try my best to do my job.
well, there was a... Wait, let me look for that, ha? Ito, may nagsabi na dito po ako while drafting, cheering for the best coach in the universe.
Universe.
Ha?
That's icy. That's icy. She's Few's girlfriend. Yeah,
Okay,
she's
one of
she's a very very supportive girlfriend. I appreciate her.
Yes.
I see.
Okay, our last question. If you were to ride the DeLorean, I'm sure you're familiar with the
Ha,
DeLorean.
yeah, the DeLorean.
The
Right?
DeLorean, right? And you would go back and meet your 14-year-old self. What would you tell the 14-year-old Ducky?
Oh, that's easy. Invest. I I
In
started pretty
connection.
late. Yeah, yeah. I started pretty late, really. This being, I wasn't really a financially savvy guy until my 20s, late 20s, really. Because obviously I was in a finance job before, so I was surrounded by people who was really financially savvy. But if there's one thing that I would like to tell my younger self is that you really need to invest in listening to your mom.
Listen to your
Like,
mom.
yeah, listen to your mom. Majority, or at least 95% of the things she told me when I was young, they were true.
Except for the computer part, siguro.
Except
Except
for
for
the,
the
except
that's
for
a
the
five
last,
percent. That's a
that's the five
that's
percent.
a yeah, that's a 5%.
Yung
So
sa computer man.
yeah, listen to my mom, and uh shoot your shot. Yeah.
Nice.
I think one of the things that young people really fail at is that when they see an opportunity, they actually doubt themselves. That's what happened to me. I saw a lot of opportunities for me. Uh, I was gifted with with this really good sense of like uh, of opportunities, but I was always doubting myself. I didn't grow up with a dad. I didn't have a father, so I didn't really have much idea of how to become a man, so to speak.
Mm,
I waddled on my own, but the younger me was always into stuff that didn't matter, right? But if that chance ever came to be at the DeLorean, right out there in the garage, waiting for me to ride it, I'd say shoot your shot. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
yeah.
One
Ang
point
ano din.
something gigawatt. Boom.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Nice.
Mm. Well, thank you so much, Ducky. But
Thank
before
you.
we end this show, we would like to give you the opportunity to
Mhm.
say thank you and your shout outs to your fans. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, maraming salamat for having me here. Who the heck are we? Yeah, appreciate you guys
Yeah,
for
thank
inviting
you.
me around.
Yay!
I'm really happy. I'm really happy to be here. And I want to give shout outs to, you know what? We don't really have a lot of fans for Bren Esports MLBB, but I would say we have the best fans in the world. They're very
Nice.
passionate. One of which is Jason right here. He's a living legend, really. I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate all the fans, the still stuck with us through thick and thin. So I really appreciate you guys. And since nandito na rin lang kayo, please supportahan nyo lahat ng mga teams na naglalaro sa MPL. Especially our team, obviously, Bren Esports. Please cheer for us this upcoming Saturday. We have a match versus RSG. We'll do our best, and yun, maraming salamat sa patuloy na pagsuporta. At mag-ingat kayo lahat. Mag-ingat kayo dyan. Kumain na ba kayo? Kumain na kayo o hindi pa?
Wow. And
King
so we
chicken.
flashed
Yes.
chicken.
Chicken. So yeah, shout outs to my girlfriend who's still watching right now, and to her brother, Kuya Bombits. Ay, nanonood ka pa ba? Yan. Magluto na yung chicken. Magluto na yung chicken. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys soon. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
Yun.
Sige.
So thank
Go ahead.
you. Do you want to do the draft? Favorite
Uh,
favorite games? It's
We just listed, coach. Ganun
you
lang.
just list your top 5 favorite games. It's gonna be like a snake draft.
oh, okay.
Yeah, sige,
Top
game.
5 favorite games. Top
Yeah, wait.
one being the
The
most
number
favorite,
one,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. And we
Papakita
can
ni
repeat.
Claro.
We
Yeah,
can
don't
repeat
repeat.
answers, coach.
You can't
Yeah.
repeat. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, wait. Yeah, wait. So it's gonna be Snake. So ikaw, ako, tas si Claro, then Claro again. So Snake siya. Okay?
Oh
Okay.
God, this is hard. Okay, so my
Dapat
favorite.
walang
Oh,
ML.
okay. Esports, like e-games, right? Or
Uh,
rather, computer games.
what do you think?
I was thinking hanggang computer games lang.
Computer
Yeah,
games.
as a whole. I mean,
Yeah.
kasama na yung E.
Kasama na
E-games,
yung mobile
esports,
phones. Mobile phone
yeah.
games. Tama.
Mobile games, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so I'll start. This was mentioned earlier. Crash Bandicoot.
Crash
Oh,
Bandicoot.
nice.
Okay, first pick. Claudia.
This is an old one.
This is-
Sims.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Diba?
Sims.
Sims, okay.
You remember
Oof.
that? You remember Sims, right?
Oh, I played it a bit.
Yeah, okay.
I played it a bit. I'm a bit torn now, to be honest. So I'll just go NBA 2K. Do I still have to mention the
Oh,
year? Or like,
I think
hindi na?
I think
Okay
NBA
lang.
is just NBA.
Yeah,
I
NBA
think
is
we
the
cannot
NBA.
go
Yeah.
with the.
Yeah. NBA is the
Okay.
NBA. Yeah.
But can I clarify something? May NBA Live tsaka 2K. So basta wala ng NBA.
Wala na
Wala
NBA.
nang NBA.
Okay.
Wala na
Okay.
NBA.
Wala
Oh,
na
Cool.
strict ang coach natin. I
Okay.
love it.
Yan. I know,
Okay.
right? And we're,
Uh,
sino nga ba kami
uh,
we're drafting with a legit coach.
Yeah.
I know, right? Legit,
Yeah.
sports, esports coach.
Feeling pro ako. But
I
I'm
knew
not
you were gonna
pro.
say this.
F1 by Codemasters.
Oh,
Yung medyo bago. It's a bit
I am not familiar with this game.
ano. Basically, ano siya, coach? Racing, but you don't get to throw weapons at the
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that's the simplest way I can put it for all the followers, listeners, viewers. Claudia?
Yeah. Ako, FIFA.
Oh yeah, FIFA.
FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I was
played
kind
that
of
for
torn for
quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, di ba?
I
May
played it for
FIFA
quite a
game
bit.
may naglalaban na rin.
Okay, mine is quite nerdy. It's Sid Meier's Civilization.
Sid Meier's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Civilization.
Kailangan
found it.
maghanap. Okay, good.
Ooh, I think my friend was telling me about this once.
This is a very, very good game.
Is that that's a computer game? PC?
Yeah, it's a PC game.
Okay.
Coach ulit.
You
Okay, I would have to go with Twisted Metal. Just because
yeah,
this was one of my earliest games.
this one. Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Oh, yeah, Uncharted is good.
Yeah. They made a movie out of it.
Yeah, they did. Tom Holland is in
Tom
it.
Holland,
is in
that's
it.
right.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
it's a good movie too.
It's a good movie.
Okay, for my pick, I might take the arcade route for this. I'll go Time
Oh.
Crisis.
I knew
Oh,
it. I
yeah.
knew that. That's
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
one.
I know.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Birthday party ng kapatid ko. Then ako daw yung bantay. So I stayed in the front of time zone. I finished the whole game. Swipe lang ng swipe. Kasi yung Unli, may Unli
Oh, yeah.
pag-party kasi.
Yeah,
So sulit.
I remember Time Crisis. That's a very good.
I
good choice.
remember playing Time Crisis with this trick where you put your finger in the gun, right?
Yeah,
And you do this so that it reloads.
it
Oh.
does.
Yeah, it does.
Hindi lang yung step
So-
on the pedal, coach.
So basically, the gun itself, or there's this Time Crisis kasi na, diba? You have to put your foot on the pedal so that
Yes.
you reload. But there's also Time Crisis where you have to shoot the gun off screen so it
Yes,
reloads.
you have to do
Remember
that.
Yes,
Yeah, you have to do that. Yeah, you have
Yes.
to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this time around, instead of like shooting off screen, you can just put your finger in there. Yeah. So the sensor in the gun.
The-
I remember playing that.
yeah, that's a good choice. That's a very good choice. Very
It is,
good
it
choice.
is.
Yeah.
Oof. I'll need to give a tribute to my PS1 days.
Ah.
Metal Slug.
Ooh, what? I haven't heard of that.
Metal Slug. Oh, really? This is one of the best games ever made.
Heavy machine gun.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll put Mario.
Mario. Not Mario.
Ta-da-ta-ta-da.
Okay,
Huh?
the OG Mario, not like Mario
OG
Kart.
Mario.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Nice.
Legends.
Zelda's
Legend
good.
of Zelda.
One of the first really good.
Of
Zelda. Yeah.
Zelda. Ganun ba, Coach?
Breath of the Wild.
Of
Okay.
Ganun. Tama ba, Coach?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Your last pick. Yung honorable mention is in case you have a dilemma
Yeah, if you have
later, but you don't have to fill it up if ever. But we have a
Okay.
chance later.
Uh, this one is very hard, but I'm really into. When I was young, when I was in high school, college, even in elementary, I'm really into like RPG games,
Mhm.
Okay.
and I really fell in love with the art of all those visually mesmerizing characters and sceneries in this game. It's called Final Fantasy.
Oh, you, that was my choice. You
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Oh,
Final
that was my
Fantasy.
choice.
Final Fantasy,
Oh
all
my
of them.
god.
Yeah,
That was my choice, really.
yeah. Well, my favorite one is obviously Final Fantasy 7. So
Seven. I was just gonna say Final Fantasy 7. Galing.
yeah,
Galing.
it's a really
Oh,
great game.
you got my oh man. That threw me. Oh my god. That threw me.
Gotcha.
I'm off. Okay. Right. I'll go with Duck Hunt.
Oh yeah, the Duck
The,
Hunt.
the, yeah,
I
with the
remember,
dog.
yeah.
The dog that's
Oh,
You
yeah,
always
yeah.
remember the gun.
Coach, you got my you got my game.
Mhm. Final Fantasy is a really good game.
Yeah. Yes. Very good game.
How about you, Clara?
Oof.
What do you got? What do you
Last
got?
one's a bit tough. The other one slipped my mind. Oh, there. Okay, okay. Um, Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, GTA.
That
Yeah, that's
was
okay.
that was cool. Cousin brotherly bonding, doing dumb
Yeah,
stuff in an open world game. So
yeah,
yeah.
that's a great game, really.
No, but you got the best one. Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Kaya
But
coach.
I remember. Okay, this is no, I will not mention it because there are honorable mentions, right? Or can I mention it now?
You
You
can
can
mention
coach.
your honorable.
Go
Yeah,
ahead
you
na.
can
Go
mention
ahead
your
na.
honorable mentions now.
Okay, when we were young, me and my cousins, Patrick, Kuya Oji as well, we used to play in their house. I would come over to their house and we'd play this game. It's WWE. Wrestling with my cousin. I really love to play Mankind.
Oh
That
my
game.
god,
Yeah,
mankind.
that was
Yeah.
So
we were huge wrestling fans back then.
Okay.
so
Nice. So that's your
WWE.
honorable mention.
Yeah.
Mention.
Naalala ko pa like yung mga Brock Lesnar on the cover. I think it was
Val
called Here
Venus.
Comes the Pain.
Yeah,
Oh,
Val Venus. Yeah, those guys.
so WWE.
Yep.
Audio, meron ka?
Yeah. This one up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right.
Oh,
Do you know that one?
Dance Revo?
uh,
No,
no,
up,
no.
up, down. No, go ahead. Up,
This
up,
is
down.
a this is
Yeah.
a game called. Oh God, gosh, I forgot. But it's a cheat code, really. It's
It's a cheat code. Yeah.
It is a
Okay.
cheat code. I forgot the game, but
Contra.
oh yeah, that's it.
There's another one. It's like Double Dragon,
Yeah.
but Contra.
Yeah. I think they released a new Contra game for PS4, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That Final Fantasy. I should have picked that earlier.
That's such a
Good.
steal for coach.
That's just good. Yeah, that was a
Okay.
big steal. That was a
So,
good
yeah.
one.
So Claudia, sorry, what's your final?
Contra.
for Contra. Is that with a K?
No, with
With
a
a
C.
With a C. Okay.
Contra is like one of the OG games. They got hooked into like playing
Konami code. Yeah.
family computer. Yeah.
Oof. For mine, I'll go with a boring one. Gran Turismo.
Oh yeah.
Cultivated by
Oh,
love.
that's not boring at all. I
Oh,
love the game.
Yeah, that's not
Coach
boring.
got
That's not,
this.
It's not boring. Yeah.
I was
that's a
like
good
the
one,
only
yeah.
guy. Like, I want to play Gran Turismo. Everyone wants to play something else. Just allow me to
Let me tell you something, Clara.
go, coach. Go.
When we had our first PlayStation, right? That's the very first
PS1.
yeah, the very first PlayStation, PS1. It came with Gran Turismo. I didn't like it. Okay, it was cars. I don't like cars, right? But my brother, my little brother, was so into it. And he said, "Play with me." Okay,
Uh,
and then I got hooked into it, and it was core memory. was a core memory for me. Yeah.
Oh, high five, coach.
Wow. Galing, galing. This was fun. Actually, I
Oh,
was gonna say Tekken, but I got
Distracted.
distracted with your
yeah.
Final Fantasy. I couldn't I
Sabi
couldn't
ni,
I couldn't think of Tekken anymore. That's why I thought of Duck Hunt.
sabi ni Jason,
I got
bakit walang
discombobulated.
walang Tekken nga eh.
No, Jason,
Oh,
I
yeah.
would have said Tekken, but I got yun nga eh.
Pero no
Rattled.
count
I
eh.
got rattled because the
No
Final
count.
Fantasy
Still
picked.
not there. Right.
Yeah, wala. It won't count.
Yeah.
It
But
won't count. But
I'm
Duck Hunt, I still love Duck Hunt. Okay,
uh-huh.
that's my childhood game, Duck Hunt. Okay, so
Wow. It's cool din. Gran Turismo kay coach, ano.
yeah,
Ito ba coach yung mga high speed ring, mga ganun yung mga map, if you remember any names.
I
That's the one
forgot,
eh.
but yeah, kasi yung may isang map doon na perfect na nung kapatid ko, like the turns and everything.
I
So
think that
lagi
might
niya,
be the one.
lagi niya akong hinahamon doon because he knows that hindi ako mananalo doon. If I'm not mistaken, this is the only game na hindi ko siya matalo.
wow.
Everything else, it'd be like, Mama, si Kuya ayaw magpatalo.
Galing.
I
This
still
was
remember
fun.
going nuts. First race win versus the AI. Big deal.
Yeah.
Man.
Good choices, huh?
Wow.
Good
That was
choices.
fun.
That was fun. That was
Okay,
fun.
I'm glad we did video games. So,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Coach.
Hey,
With
Claudia, you
the
should try MLBB soon.
fine.
it's,
Fine.
it's a great game. How do you say it? It's more fun to play with friends. This is really like a team game. So
Okay.
if you have a chance to like see some of your niece or your your nephews play, let me play.
I do. There was a
That's how you
game that I,
bond.
no, there was a game that I played during the pandemic where you're the murderer and then nobody knows that you're the murderer.
Dead by Daylight, is that it?
No, it's those little. They're little. They look like
I
they look
remember.
like ghosts of
Sus-
Pac-Man.
suspect like
Suspect. That's the whatever that is. Yeah.
what's a game called again?
Oh,
I forgot that in the research.
Oh,
Claro's
beast mode na si coach.
Among Us.
Among Us. There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Among
I've heard of
Us.
this one.
Like yes, actually, there. Yeah, I played that. I played for a bit.
I'm sure
Among
yung
Us.
early pandemic, just
Early
ako,
pandemic.
I went back to video games. Like I played Grand Theft Auto again, Command and
Yeah.
Conquer. Oh no, I didn't put that. But there.
Actually, dami. There's Resident Evil Resident Evil,
Ito.
Chrono Cross. Yeah. So
Chrono Cross. Resident Evil is good.
Resident Evil, the first few games of Resident Evil, that was good. That was good.
Chrono Cross is probably one of the games that was trying to be Final Fantasy. It was an RPG
Oh,
game.
really?
I really loved it as well. But I still have to give it a Final Fantasies. My imagination just went wild when I was young, when I was playing. Final
Yeah,
Fantasy.
no, you got for I think from all our picks, you got the best one. Yeah,
Final
promise.
Fantasy.
Oh, that's why after that I got Duck Hunt. I'm like, dude,
Taranta.
Duck Hunt. Yeah, no,
Right.
really, nataranta ako. I felt my heart just fell out of my.
Well, remember, pro si coach.
Yeah, God of War.
One drafting
God
with someone like Coach Duckeyyy.
Yeah. Okay, so Coach, sorry, we took an hour and 30 minutes of your time.
That's
so,
fine. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's fun, diba? It's like, usap
Yeah, it's
lang.
fun.
Nothing too serious. We just, wala lang.
Nice looking back at all these games.
Yeah.
So many core
So-
memories, like what Coach
Yeah.
said. Yes.
So I think moving forward, you guys might want to like interview more esports personalities.
Yes, please.
And
Why not,
it would
Coach?
give you guys a really good understanding of what we're doing.
Yes,
in
please.
esports.
Send
As
us
well as-
guests, Coach.
Yeah. Oh, sure, absolutely. Also impart knowledge with like the public of what we
Please.
are trying to do in the back of it all. So, yeah.
That's
Sounds
what
good.
we want to do. So send us really, players, coaches, or your players. We could invite them in the show. That would be good.
Sure.
I'm sure they will tell us Coach Duckeyyy stories from training, which would be cool. Similar, Coach, lang how we hear stories na yung mga coaches in other sports.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They got these entertaining stories.
Yeah. I have some stories, but we only have an hour and a half.
Mga
So
coach.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, but maybe next time. Maybe
of
next time.
course.
Part two.
Why
Part
not?
two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Yes.
okay.
Stories for
That
a
was
different
great.
day.
Stories for the next
Uh-huh.
episode coming. Okay, Coach, we'll put
Right.
you backstage. You can leave and then come in. Clara will deliberate and end the show.
Coach, we understand you have a busy schedule. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you
Training
so
ka
much,
pa.
guys, for having me.
Yeah,
All right.
coach.
Bye. See ya.
Bye. Thanks, Coach Lucky.
Bye. Bye.
Bye bye. Wow,
Wow.
that
It is
was
so
cool.
nice. I mean, you see how video games, we spoke about our medyo na frowned upon growing up, and then now it's
Yeah.
gotten here where there's appreciation. It's not, I say it's still not up there all the way, but there's
Mhm.
progress, and I'm just geeking out over yung video games. Gran Turismo, dalawa racing choices ko ni Coach. Core memory din pala yun ni Coach Duckeyyy. I
Yeah.
had
No, Gran
similar
Turismo was a good one.
with
Huh?
my brothers. Yeah,
It
actually
is.
became my favorite because that's where I would beat my brother. Similar yung kay Coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I got discombobulated. What a word. When he said Final Fantasy, I was
Hanggang
like,
ngayon,
hanggang ngayon, I was
medyo,
like,
ano
please
ka
don't
pa
say
hanggang
Final
ngayon?
Fantasy.
Ah.
If you look back, my face was, please don't say Final Fantasy. When he said it,
Well,
oh, I knew
I
it.
think
I should have picked it.
if you put it that way, fifth round the Coach, that's a steal, no?
The fifth round, still,
So you guys kind of slept on it. Like honestly, it
yeah,
wasn't on
obviously,
my list. I was just geeking out at the sports games. Because if you look at like the games we have in my brothers, just like NBA, 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 2K, 2K, 2K.
yeah.
At least for our household, that's how it is. Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm really surprised on how similar e-games coaching is to the traditional sports,
it's nice to
right?
see.
And the fact that it's esports is finally merging in, or finally being accepted as a sport in this country. You
Oh
know?
nga, like so, like grabe ng development when I
Yes,
found out kasama siya sa Southeast Asian Games.
yes.
Yeah.
I was skeptic at first, and biglang, I would read the news about it. It's like okay,
Mhm.
and then listening to coach, he gives you a different perspective on it.
Yes.
It's just not the mind, and it's just not the hands, the dexterity of the hands, but it's also the mindset. Galing. I enjoyed
True.
it.
True.
Yeah.
Ito, looks like Esperanza had fun in this
Yes. Oh,
episode.
thank you. Yes, we're we weren't confident with the esports guest today,
Mhm.
but kasi wala kaming masyadong alam sa esports, but we had fun that we'll be able to get more guests coming in.
Swerte rin, nag-Dota ako before. Maybe a bit too early. So, I got what coach was teaching. Or
Yeah,
explaining
yeah.
to us yung sa MLBB. So, perfect.
Yeah.
Hope, glad you had fun, Esperanza.
Yeah, and then when we post a draft of our favorite video games, please also include your top 5. I'm sure we missed a lot, like God of War, what else? Resident Evil, Tekken, Street Fighter. Diba? I'm sure we missed a lot. So do add
Daming
your
games.
daming
Nice.
games. Yeah. So that ends episode 115. And we'll be back next week, right?
I think
Of
we have our
course.
messages, Claudia. You
Yeah.
deliver
So
close out.
I will do it. Yes. So the Globally Ballin Network hosts a lot of our shows. So that's an eternity of basketball, as well as Hang Time with Unisa Time, Mukbang with Jho Jho, and Next Man Up, and of course us. Who the heck are we? Thank you so much. Do follow us on our social media, right? That's at WTHW podcast. For more, you could listen to our stories, watch our stories, look at our posts for announcements. You can subscribe at the Globally Ballin YouTube channel for all our episodes. And Next Man Up, I'm not sure who their guest is, but it was live last Monday. So you could watch the rerun, watch again, and just check out Next Man Up, Diego Dario and Jello Vito. And Eternity of Basketball is also for next Saturday, and they have Jervis Cole, former import of the PBA.
Yung mga titos ko nag-get together in person, no? Kita ko
Did they?
picture nila ni
They did
Sir
ba?
Sid. Or maybe a few days back. Nag-post si Sir
Okay,
Sid ng
nice.
picture. Yeah.
There you go. So they nag-reunion nating tatlo ba sila?
Everyone was there, even Sir JPM.
Even you, yeah.
All
So
titos. Kasama
all
si Sir
titos were
JPM
there.
dyan. Yep.
Nice. Okay. And then thank you so much to New Era, Georgie's Delights, Hinilaban Farms, Aquaflies, the Daily Ounce, Fujimama, Founders Donuts, Barrio Fiesta. We're gonna soon have the kare-kare and crispy pata, yum yum. The Mad Brownie, Chops to Go, Muffin Mafia, and Rad Chameleon. Thank you so much again, and do follow us on social media for announcements. Again, thank you so much. This is episode 115 with Coach Francie Duckeyyy. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Double kill. Oopsie.
Mortal. Oh. Hi.